Hi, I'm Bybreen and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my textured take on the world of astrology. On the 25th of July, Mercury moves retrograde through Leo and will be doing so until August the 17th. But before I get into the Mercury retrograde, I want to bring you some news in terms of changes to my channel. As you know, my life signature is around living on an authentic and soulful life, and astrology forms one strand of that. What I'm going to do is widen the content so that I live far more as an integrated person. That means I've got to bring in technology because I'm a rookie software engineer. I've got a biz dev background. I know about PR and marketing, raising money. I've published a book. Obviously around astrology is a key focus of mine, but I'm bringing in these different elements so that I remain congruent, but also it's a way to bring you added value. On top of that, I'm introducing two other segments. One is question of the week. If you would like me to answer a question of yours, put the question in the comment box below and then get your friends and or supporters to like and recommend your question, and therefore I will select it and then give you a high five and then answer your question. I'm also introducing an advice session. So here you can put in questions, comments, observations, reflections, themes, and then I may select a couple of them and then present my perspective around them, which could be in the form of a mini tutorial. Not quite sure of the format, but there will be this advice session. I have a whole range of experience and there's ways that I can add value to you. So they're the changes that I'm bringing about. Hope to see you all still with me on my journey of unfolding and continuing to live my authentic and soulful life, and then by doing so, helping you to do the same. So here we are. We have Mercury in about a week's time going retrograde through Leo. So Leo is a fixed fire sign. Mercury is going through there. So it's a time where thoughts are very pronounced, very powerful mental plane. It's the ability to be quite concentrated around a particular area. Now, the Sun and Mercury can never be more than 28 degrees away from each other. They're either conjunct within 7 or 8 degrees, up to 28 degrees, but they could also be in different signs. You know, Mercury might be ahead of the Sun, or it might be behind the Sun. So, for example, in my own chart, my Sun sign is Leo, and my Mercury is Virgo. So, you know, it's quite an exalted Virgo. And Mercury, that is conjunct the MC. Now, when you're looking at Mercury, Mercury is retrograding, and some people say, oh, you know, it's difficulties in communication and, you know, disruptions and don't travel on such and such a day. I always say that astrology is a way, it's a tool, it's a mechanism for you to grow in consciousness. It actually fills the consciousness gap. So it's not so much that you can't speak and you shouldn't sign documents. It's more about, it's a retrograde energy, which gives the appearance as if the planet is moving backwards. It's a slowing down of the energy, and an interpretation of that is that it's a time for you to be pulling inwards. So with, you know, with Leo as a sign, as I said, it's fixed energy. It could be you're somebody who's quite direct and quite forceful or quite courageous around the stuff that you talk about. For some people that could be off-putting, others it could be very welcoming. With this retrograde, it's time for you to reassess, rethink, replan, reorganize your thoughts, projects, anything that's outstanding. It's a time for you to complete, or it could be about rethinking it. So we're already seeing Mercury moving retrograde in its very early stages. If we take, you know, the debacle around Brexit here in the UK, and Theresa May is fighting very hard to get her proposals through, and she just got through on a slim majority. But hey, during the Mercury retrograde, we may see that changing. Now, the Sun moves into Leo on the 23rd of July, and on August the 8th, the Sun and Mercury are actually conjunct. Now, if the Sun and Mercury are within 8 degrees of each other, that's known as that it's combust, which basically means the planets are very close and the Sun scorches, or the Sun burns away at Mercury. So you've got the Sun moving direct, and then you'll have Mercury moving backwards. So on the one hand, it can be seen as, you know, this is quite a harsh energy that's appearing. On another hand, it could be seen that these two planets are allies because they're in the same sign, they're forming a conjunction. And so there's a strong association with the core identity and the message that backs it up. On the other hand, with such a strong Mercury, you could be over-wedded and over-committed and over-connected to your own fixed thoughts and processes, which means you're not taking account of other people's perspectives and opinions, which means you could be undermining your message. On the other hand, if you have Mercury in one sign and the Sun in another, that brings more broadness in your thoughts and your opinions. It brings more objectivity. So when you've got the conjunction, it could be that you're too subjective, but if you're quite awake and rising in consciousness, you might already be aware of this, and so you can bring in more objectivity. So with Mercury moving retrograde through Leo, it's a time for you to be conscious about how do you ordinarily communicate. It's also going to be forming a conjunction with the North Node. The North Node is here in Leo, will be here until the 6th of November. So there's about 3 more months to go. So you've got this alignment. You'll have the Sun, Mercury and the North Node. And with the North Node in Leo, it's all about your future direction. You're being pulled into your future direction. So with Mercury going retrograde, it's time for you to be rethinking your future plans. The Sun's there, so it's your core identity. Who are you showing up as in the world that's meaningful to you? We've got Mars going on in Aquarius, so it's forming some type of opposition here. And with Mars, it's always not throwing away, but focusing your energy on the collective and fighting for their causes. But actually with this alignment of Sun, Mercury and the North Node, you've got to be paying attention to what is your future direction. Where are you going with this?